Hi students, today I will give you a brief idea about the water quality parameters. Myself, Tanmoy Dotto, Assistant Professor, Department of Chemistry, JIS College of Engineering, Kolkata. So, in the chapter of water pollution, which is included in the syllabus of the environmental science, in water pollution chapter, the most important thing which you have to know at first, this is the water quality parameters. Okay, this is the water quality parameters. Now, in water quality parameters, quality parameters, there the three kinds of parameters are there, but in this class first we'll discuss about the physical parameters or the physical properties. Okay, if you think about the physical parameters, then what happened there are, first of all we discuss about the temperature. Okay, we discuss about the temperature. So temperature is very important. Temperature is very important, which you have to keep in mind as the physical properties. Then another physical properties is very important, that is the color. Okay, color or COLOUR maybe, or COLOR, whatever. So color is the another important property of the water. Order is another very important property, because I think if without tasting the water, by observing the color you can understand that what may be the either it is suitable for that particular purpose or not. So order also a very much important factor, color is also very much important. And then last one, the electrical conductance. This is very important, electrical conductivity or electrical conductance. So electrical conductance is also very much important factor for the water quality parameter. So these quality parameters are very much important for particular type of reaction or particular type of utility of the water. That means if we want to use the water for drinking purpose, then there must be a normal temperature. It may not be very high temperature, it may not be very low temperature. Their color should be there, such kind of color that it is generally what water we are taking for our drinking purpose, it is the colorless. Okay, so it should be the colorless. Order, there should not be any order, because the normal water which we are taking for a drinking purpose, it is the orderless. And if you think about the industrial purpose or a particular reaction purpose, what we are using, their electrical conductivity is the another important factor, very important factor, because without electrical conductivity mainly comes from the ions. Okay, so if there is any kind of ions present, then we can expect the electrical conductivity, or it can hamper the reaction, or it can hamper the utilization of that particular purpose. So these physical properties are very important for the water quality parameter. So today we'll discuss in details about all the physical properties of the water. So let's come to the presentation. Water is a very important for our life, and that's why the another name of water is life. So when we want to discuss about the importance of water, then first of all, we know that water is an essential commodity to all life. That means it is not that only human life depends on the water. Each and every life, starting from either it is macroorganism or it is microorganism, all types of a living body totally depends on water. Without water, there can be no life. That's why I can tell you one thing, that when scientists try to find out life in another planet, for example Mars. Then first of all, they try to find out either there any H2O molecules present or not. H2O molecules means water. So if there any chance of getting water, then obviously there will be a chance of getting the life. That's why the water is very very important, or without water there can be no life. Third point, every living things starting from animal, plants, people must have a water to live. Okay, so that means without water we can't live. Third point, that water is used in almost all activities of life support systems. So life support system means for to live on the earth or to live any other planet, maybe that not only for a drinking purpose, all types of activities totally depends on the water. That means if there is any question of washing something, there will be water. If if we think about that our digestion process, there will be water. If we think about any system where some chemical reaction is going on, there are so many types of chemical reaction going on which are aquatic based, that means water based. So there are different kinds of process which totally depends on the water. Another thing, water is the major abiotic factor in the environment. So this is the major abiotic factor in the environment. Now come to the point that natural water. Okay, so if we think about the natural water, then natural water means, here look here, the endless circulation of the water in between atmosphere, okay, lithosphere, hydrosphere and biosphere is known as hydrologic circle. You know, atmosphere means the outermost surface, the gaseous layer surrounding the earth. This is called the atmosphere. Lithosphere, what is the lithosphere? Lithosphere means on which we live. That means the hard outermost surface of the earth. Hydrosphere, what is the hydrosphere? Hydrosphere means total water bodies of the earth. Okay, that means the total water bodies means starting from the pond, ocean, seas, etc. All these things are included in the hydrosphere. Total water bodies. Biosphere. Biosphere means where all types of living organism exist. That means it may be macroorganism or it may be microorganism. So combination of all types of living organism is called the biosphere. So this type of circulation of water between atmosphere to lithosphere to hydrosphere to biosphere, this type of circulation is called actually the hydrologic circle. And you know, we get a water from precipitation of water vapor in the atmosphere. All of you know, this is the mainly it is the rain actually. So this is in this way there is a circulation of the water occur, and without this circulation it is not possible. So this hydrologic cycle is very very important for the environment. Now world's water distribution. Earth has tremendous amount of water. All of you know very well. Okay, Earth has tremendous water. There, 3/4 of the Earth surface. Look here, 3/4 of the Earth surface is covered by the water. And you know, 97% of water is in the seas and oceans. this water is saline water. Total 97% water, almost total 97% water is the saline water or the salt water, and salt water means it present in the sea or the ocean. Only 3% water present, only 3% water present in the fresh. And I can give you another information that in this 3% water, 2% water remains in the polar ice caps. Okay, this 2% water remains in the polar ice caps, and remaining only 1% of water is the groundwater for drinking purpose. So think about this. If you think about the groundwater, that only 1%. Okay, so in this 3% water, only 1% water is the groundwater. So this is very less. So we have to use properly the groundwater. Otherwise, after a few years, the groundwater level will be very low. The distribution of water over land is uneven. This is the common thing. I think this is the common factor, that the distribution of the water over the land, this is the uneven. Okay, so this is the overall distribution of the water. Now come to the next topic, that water is everywhere. Okay, so water is everywhere means water is a common substance. It fills the ocean, river, lakes, then it is the ground, and also in the air we breathe also. Okay, now water is used for, this is used for domestic purpose, this is the used for drinking purpose, this is used for all domestic purpose. What I told, agriculture purpose, that I told you that this water not means that it is only used for drinking purpose, it may be used for different kinds of purpose. Okay, so domestic purpose, each and everybody's house without water, if any day if the municipality water supply stop for any reason, okay, then we it seems like a blind situation. You can't do anything in this day or that day. So that means for domestic purpose, different kinds of domestic purpose, we totally depends on the water. Different kinds of agricultural systems also depends on the very much water, that farmers are totally depends on the water supply. Industrial application, their boiler, there is a very important application of the water in the boiler, cleaning and recreation purpose. So these all purposes are very much important, and without water it is not possible to continue these purposes. Now quality determines its uses. This is very much important phrase actually, that it is not for water, it is useful for each and every case of our universe, that without quality there is nothing. Okay, so whatever, in case of water, that there is some different purposes. What I told you, that we use the water in different purposes, but the different purposes depends on the different parameters of the water, or different types of quality parameters of the water. So that's why water has some kinds of peculiar characteristics, like starting from water has its own taste, it has own color, it has own smell, it has its constituents. So each and every case water has its different types of things are there. Okay, so now not all the water can be used for the for all purposes. Like this is very important word, that there is some particular purposes by which we can use the water, and we can't use the water for each and every purpose, each and every case we can't use the water, all types of water. So there must be some kinds of specific purposes by which we can use the water. Starting from the sea water can be used for cannot be used for the drinking purpose. Like we can't use the sea water for the drinking purpose, isn't it? So that's why there should be some kinds of specific purposes by which we can use the water actually. Now quantity and the quality. So on an average, if you look that each person in a developed country uses about 260 liters of water a day in the home. That means average one person consume approximately each person in the developed country uses 260 liters of water a day in the home. Okay, so the quality of water is equally important than quantity. This is not only for drinking purpose. What is mentioned here, the different types of purposes, like from bathing, from washing, from different types of purposes. Without water it is not possible to live. So there are different types of purposes that are included in this 260 liters. Okay, now the quality of water is equally important than the quantity, that I already told you. Even if present in huge amounts, we cannot use the salt water in many life support activities. This is very important information. You know that quality is also very much important, as you know that if you think about the sea water, okay, there is a huge amount of water present there. But can we use for the drinking purpose? No, you can't take the water directly from the sea and we can't use it for drinking purpose, because this is salt water. So this is not suitable for our body. So that means there are some peculiar characteristics or peculiar phenomena that determines that which quality is suitable for which type of purposes. So that's why it is very much important that not only quantity, quality is also parallelly very much important. Characteristics of water, you know, water is very much good solvent. You know that maximum of the solute that dissolve in the water, that is very good solvent. Water never occurs in its pure form. This is very important. Water never occurs in its pure form. All waters contain some dissolved substances. Okay, so there are different types of waters present. So all water contain some kinds of dissolved substances. Okay, the quality of water is determined by these substances. Okay, this is very important, that what I told you, that the quality, this quality actually determined by that what substances are dissolved in the water. Okay, so these dissolved substances determine what will be the quality of the water. It has the ability to dissolve many inorganic and organic substances. Okay, that I told you that this is called actually universal solvent. Okay, so it is called the universal solvent. Why it is called the universal solvent? For that reason, because it dissolve many inorganic and organic substances. That's why it is called actually universal solvent. Okay, so this is also important characteristics of the water. Now come to the most important part, water quality parameters. So what I told you, that quality of water is very much important. So now there must be some water quality parameters by which we can determine the quality of the water. So in this sequence, first of all, look here, the physical property. Okay, so what is the physical property? There are some physical properties by which we can determine the quality. There are some chemical compositions and there are some biological properties also. Depending on these three factors, we can determine the water quality parameters. Okay, now come to the physical properties. So what are the physical properties by which we can determine the water quality parameters? So if you think about the physical properties, first of all look here, temperature. Okay, so temperature is the first physical property and very important, you know, like if you think about the hot water, if you think about the cold water, if you think about the normal water, this is very much important. Okay, because the temperature of the water is very much related to its usefulness. That means in which purpose we are using the water, this is very much dependent on its the temperature. Okay, so that means hot water we can't use for each and every purpose. In the same way, cold water we can't use for each and every purpose. So that means that indicate that there are several kinds of condition that comes from the temperature also. Second thing, color. Okay, color is also important because color indicate that there are some kinds of substances which are dissolved maybe in the water. Okay, that indication we can get from the color of the water. Like there are 7 kinds of seas there where the color is defined with respect to other sea. Okay, so there are some river water, there is some different river water. When two river water mixed in a place, okay, so then we can clearly we can visualize that, okay, that two different kinds of different colored water coming and mixed with each other. This comes from that fact that the different kinds of salts or substances dissolved in the water, okay, in the different region. That's why color came. Order also same case, that order came due to different types of substances present in the water in the dissolved state. That's why different order generates for different water. Okay, so order is also very important. Then turbidity, very much important factor, because turbidity actually disturbs some kinds of in some kinds of application of the water. When you use the water for different purpose, if there is any turbidity present, then we can't use the water. In general cases, generally the fresh water is required for like your drinking purpose or there are any things. If there is any turbidity, we can't use the water properly. There are many area. And then the next one, electrical conductivity also important, because there are some kinds of ions may be present in the water which carry the current. So that's why electrical conductivity we can check also. In the case of water, there is some electrical conductivity meter present by which we can check what is the conductivity of the water. So these properties are very important, okay, for in case of physical property. So starting from temperature, color, order, turbidity, electrical conductivity, that all the things determine what are the physical properties of the water. Now if you think about the physical properties of the water, then come to the point temperature. Okay, so temperature is very essential for all environmental studies. Okay, you know that temperature is very much essential because many kind of biological process, chemical process that depends on the temperature. That means the reaction may continue in a particular temperature, but this reaction will not be possible for another temperature. So that means the temperature is very important factor which we have to consider. Second point, and it controls many ecological process, including chemical reaction. Okay, so many type of ecological process controlled by the temperature. Chemical reaction, I already told you there is some chemical reaction. Temperature of surface water, the temperature of the surface water varies from space and time. Okay, so surface water because the surface water is directly in contact with sunlight or the upper atmosphere of the water, then its temperature totally it can vary from time to time. That means from daytime to night time, because in the daytime there may be temperature a little bit higher on the surface water, but that temperature will be lower if you in the case of night time. Temperature of the groundwater varies not only with the reference to space and time, but also with reference to depth. This is very important, you have to keep in mind, okay, that groundwater with the depth. Okay, if you go to the more deeper of the earth, then what happen, then you can get a variation of the temperature. Okay, so that means in case of groundwater, with space, with time, there is another factor which is added, that is the depth. Okay, so with depth there also change of the temperature occur. Now measured using thermometers. Normally temperature, how we can measure? Okay, so we can measure the temperature by using the thermometer. Okay, it manages from 0 to 100 degrees Celsius. Units of measurement is degree Celsius. Okay, this you know, or I think already know. The temperature of the surface water is influenced by the atmospheric condition, what I told you in the previous slide, that it, like from daytime to night time, their surface temperature of the surface water will be changed. So that will be influenced by the atmospheric condition. The temperature of the groundwater is controlled by the thermal characteristics of the this depends on the thermal characteristics of the bedrocks and the depth. Okay, so this is very important because groundwater is in touch with the bedrocks, so obviously the temperature of the bedrocks actually control the temperature of the groundwater. So you have to keep in mind this fact. Color of the water, come to the point. Okay, so color of the water is another physical properties of the water. So if you consider the color of the water is due to the suspended particles and organic matter. What I told you, this is due to suspended particles and the organic matter. Okay, so these things gives the color to the water. It ranges from light to dark brown. Okay, it ranges from light to dark brown. A brownish color in water comes due to presence of iron. This is very common fact, I think. In all of maximum of us, we observe that this fact, that if in municipal water supply system in many area, their drinking water is coming through the pipeline, this is full of iron, and that's why there is a peculiar color is generated, and this looks like the brownish color. Okay, and if you keep the water for a long time in any utensil, then what happens, this utensil gradually turns to the brownish. Okay, so that this indicate that there is presence of the iron in the water. Okay, and this gives the brownish color. Greenish color is in pond water is seen. Okay, this is very common factor, that greenish color, there are some ponds also, the water of that pond is the greenish color, and is seen due to the presence of organic substance like algae. If there is any algae present in the pond water, then we see the greenish color of the pond. Order: pure water. If you think about the pure water, fresh water, this is the odorless. Okay, normally what we use for our drinking purpose, this become the odorless. But when water dissolves other substances, the odor determined by them. That means what a substance is dissolved in the water, the odor of the water will be like this. Mostly decayed organic substances give the foul smell. Okay, so this we know that there is a bad smell coming from the organic dissolved substances. And inorganic substances, in case of inorganic substances, give the earthy smell. Okay, so it seems like earthy smell for the inorganic substance. I think if a normal filter where such kinds of materials are used for candle purpose, for filtering purpose, if it is not washed properly, sometimes we get some kinds of earthy smell in the drinking water also. Turbidity, this is the very important fact, and this all of us we actually experience this fact in mainly rainy days. You know, there maximum time in the rainy days, the municipal water system is coming, drinking water is coming from the municipal water supply system. There may be a chance of the water become turbid. Okay, so turbidity generally comes from the muddiness in water. Okay, this is due to muddiness of the water. It comes due to suspended particles from clay, from silt, and from organic matter. This gives the turbid color of the water, and it controls the transparency of the water. Okay, this is very important, because how we can understand the water is turbid? By observing the transparency of the water. Okay, obviously we check the transparency of the water. Water is very much transparent, but if the water is not transparent, then it seems like the water is the turbid. Transparency is measured using the Secchi disc. Okay, so this is another disc by which we can also measure otherwise on naked eye. And water turbidity is measured using nephelometer. Okay, this is another types of instrument by which we can also measure the water turbidity. Electrical conductivity, this is also another kind of physical property of the water, and which is a very important factor. Okay, which is very important factor. So if you consider the electrical conductivity, then first of all, electrical conductivity means, look here, it is the ability of a substance to conduct an electrical current. Okay, so that means the ability of a substance to conduct the electrical current. This is called the electrical conductivity. The presence of charged ionic species makes the water conductive. Okay, the presence of charged water species, mainly because ions are charged ionic species, mainly ions are responsible for the current carrying capacity. Okay, so if ions are responsible for current carrying capacity, then obviously there must be some kinds of ions present in the water. That's why we can expect the electrical conductivity of the water. Okay, so this is also very much important for the electrical conductivity purpose. Next, directly related to temperature of the water, and it is determined by the it is measured by the electrical conductivity meter. Okay, so what I told you, that two types of electrical conductivity meter are present, by which you can determine the conductivity of the water. So first of all, if there is one is the pocket conductivity meter, by which you can determine very easily in each and everywhere. In the outside of the laboratory also we can measure by dipping the conductivity meter in the water. Otherwise, there is an instrument where an electrode separately are there, and we have to dip the electrode and we can measure the conductance of the water. And that electrical conductivity directly depends on the or related to the temperature of the water. Okay, so temperature of the water is directly related to the conductivity of the water. Okay, so the unit of measurement is the mainly most per centimeter, and its standard temperature ranges from the 1 to 100,000. Okay, so 100 to maybe it may be 100 to 1 lakh. Okay. And you have to keep in mind that pure water is always less conductive. Okay, pure water is generally, it becomes the less conductive. Okay, so you have to keep in mind this fact. Now now there are some chemical properties also. Okay, so what are the chemical what are the chemical properties which we determine, which is very much important? So first of all, the chemical properties are that pH is the first chemical property which is very much important. Then TDS, total dissolved solid, is the another important property of the water. This is also very much important. Then major ions are there. What I told you, that conductance is mainly responsible for the ions, so there are some major ions which carry the current actually. So major ions may be present. This is also another chemical property. Minor or trace elements, so there are some trace elements also may be present, which are mainly responsible for some kinds of 3ds also maybe it gives. Then hardness is very important factor. You know that we face during the time of washing, there the leather generally not formed very readily. if the water is very very hard, so hardness is the another factor, very important factor, and salinity is the another factor. This is also very very important factor. So these chemical factors are very much important for the water quality parameters. Okay, so you have to keep in mind that if there is any requirement of utilization of the water for a particular purpose, then we have to keep in mind that we have to check all the properties, either it fulfills our criteria or not. For example, if there is for any in industry any reaction, if there is some neutral pH, neutral water is required, then we have to check that either this pH of the water is neutral or not. That means either it is 7 or near equal to 7 or not. If there is any limit of the TDS, okay, so then we have to check it for the either it is under condition or not. That means these chemical properties are very crucial for any kind of particular purpose. That means if there is any particular reaction purpose or industry purpose, then this gives them such kind of criteria or phenomena by which we can understand either it is suitable or not. So in the next class we will discuss in details about all the chemical properties of the water. Okay, so that's all for today. Meet with you in the next class with the detailed discussion of the these chemical properties. Thank you. Goodbye.